This is Ignite English and find your English voice.
Elena, I was at the coffee shop yesterday, right? And the barista asks me, "Would you like room for cream?" Simple question, but I froze. Completely froze. I understood her perfectly, but when I opened my mouth, nothing. I ended up just pointing at the cup like an idiot.
Oh, Derek, I can hear the frustration. You know what? You just described what happens to millions of English learners every single day.
Right? And it's not just coffee shops. This happens everywhere. Work meetings, phone calls, even just asking for directions. I can practice conversations perfectly in my head, but the second a real person shows up,
Exactly. And here's the thing. This has nothing to do with your English level. You're experiencing what I call performance anxiety paralysis. Your brain knows English, but your confidence, not so much.
performance anxiety, but I'm not on stage. I'm just trying to buy coffee. How's that scary?
That freeze? Pure fear, Derek. And here's what's crazy. The better your English gets, the more afraid you become. Because now you feel like you should know better, right? Today, we're going to flip that completely. We're turning your biggest fear into your greatest tool. I'm Elena.
And I'm Derek, professional coffee shop freezer and expert in awkward pointing. My mom's so proud.
Derek, let me ask you something. When do you feel ready to speak English?
When I'm ready, I guess, when I know I won't mess up. You know, when I have the perfect sentence ready, perfect grammar, and all that.
Right there. That's the problem. You're waiting to be perfect before you speak. But Derek, when's that day coming?
Honestly, probably never.
Never is right. Because while you're waiting to be perfect, what's happening? You're translating every word, checking grammar rules, overthinking everything. And then what?
I end up saying nothing at all.
Exactly. And silence never improved anyone's speaking skills. Derek, let me tell you what's really happening in your brain here.
Okay, I'm listening.
Your brain has one main job: keep you safe. When you think about speaking English, it sees danger, not physical danger, but social danger, embarrassment, judgment, looking foolish.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels.
So your brain hits error control mode. It's trying to prevent any mistake. But here's the thing. When your brain focuses on avoiding errors, it can't focus on communicating. It's like driving with your foot on both the brake and gas.
Oh, wow. That's exactly what it feels like I'm fighting myself.
You are fighting against yourself. And the more you do this, the stronger this habit becomes. You become what I call a silent learner. You understand everything, but you can't speak. Sound familiar?
That's me. I can watch English movies, I can read English books, but put me in front of one person asking about coffee cream and I turn into a mute statue.
Derek, here's the scary part. The longer you avoid speaking because of fear, the stronger that fear becomes. It's like a muscle that gets stronger every time you don't speak. Soon, even simple conversations feel impossible.
Oh no, so what do I do? How do I break this cycle?
Derek, I need you to completely flip your mindset. Are you ready for this? Instead of speak perfectly, then correct, I want you to think speak freely, then improve. Do you see the difference?
Speak first, worry about perfection later.
Exactly. Derek, think about it this way. Every mistake you make is not a failure. It's data. It's information your brain needs to improve. But if you never make mistakes because you never speak, your brain has no data to work with.
So mistakes are actually helpful?
Mistakes are essential, Derek. Fluency doesn't come from perfection. Fluency comes from action, from speaking, making mistakes, learning, and speaking again. Every fluent English speaker you admire made thousands of mistakes to get where they are.
But Elena, how do I actually do this? I mean, it sounds great in theory, but when I'm standing there in real life, the fear is so strong.
I'm going to give you a simple method, Derek. 3 steps. First, speak your full thought without stopping. Don't think about grammar, just communicate your message. Second, after you finish, notice just one mistake. Not 5 mistakes, not 10, one. Third, repeat that sentence better.
So speak first, find one mistake, then try again?
Perfect. Derek, let's practice right now. Tell me about your morning coffee routine, but don't think about grammar. Just speak.
Okay. I wake up and I am making coffee immediately. I don't like to wait because coffee is very important for my brain to working properly.
Great. I understood everything you said. Now, what's one thing you'd like to improve?
I think I should say for my brain to work properly, not to working properly.
Perfect.
I don't like to wait because coffee is very important for my brain to work properly.
Beautiful. Derek, do you see what just happened? You spoke freely, you learned something, and you improved. And most importantly, I understood you perfectly both times.
You know what? That actually felt good. I didn't freeze up.
Derek, I need you to understand something very important. Are you listening?
Yes.
Derek, listen to me. You are not bad at English. You are afraid to be bad at English. There's a huge difference. Your English isn't the problem. Your relationship with mistakes is.
Wow. I never thought about it that way.
Derek, every single person who speaks English fluently today, including native speakers, made mistakes. Lots of them. The difference is, they didn't let fear stop them from speaking. They spoke anyway.
So the secret is just speaking anyway?
Anyway. Derek, tomorrow when you go to that coffee shop, I want you to speak, even if it's imperfect, even if you make mistakes, speak anyway. Because every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you're choosing courage over fear.
You know what, Elena? I'm going to do it. I'm going to order my coffee in English, mistakes and all. But Elena, wait. Before I commit to this coffee shop challenge, can I ask you something personal? How do you know so much about this fear? I mean, you speak English perfectly. You sound so confident. Did you ever experience this kind of speaking anxiety yourself?
Derek, I'm so glad you asked. Yes, I absolutely experienced this fear, and it nearly destroyed my confidence completely. When I first moved to an English-speaking country, I had studied English for years. I could read academic papers, I understood complex movies, but when I had to speak, let me tell you about my most embarrassing moment.
Oh no, what happened?
I had a job interview for my dream position at a university. I had prepared for weeks, but when I walked into that room and saw 5 professors sitting there, my mind went completely blank. The first question was simple. Tell us about yourself. Derek, I sat there opening and closing my mouth like a fish. I finally managed to stutter out a few broken sentences, but I was so mortified that I actually started crying right there in the interview.
Oh, Elena, that sounds absolutely devastating. I can't even imagine. But you're so confident now. How did you get from that crying interview to where you are today? What changed?
Derek, what changed everything was exactly what I'm teaching you today. I realized perfectionism was my enemy. After that disaster, I made a decision. Speak English every single day, mistakes and all. I started simple. 5 minutes in the mirror every morning, just talking about anything. And you know what? I made thousands of mistakes.
Wait, you talk to yourself in the mirror? That actually sounds kind of brilliant, but weren't you embarrassed, even alone?
At first, yes, I was embarrassed even talking to myself. But Derek, that's exactly the point. When you're alone, you can make mistakes without social consequences. It's like having a practice stage before the real performance. And here's what happened. After 2 weeks, I was starting to think in English instead of translating.
That's exactly what I want to happen. I'm so tired of translating everything in my head. It's like there's always a delay between my thoughts and my words. So you're saying I should start talking to my mirror every morning?
Absolutely. But let me give you a complete system, Derek. This is what I call the courage building method. Step 1, start with the mirror exercise. Every morning, look yourself in the eye and speak for 5 minutes about anything: your breakfast, your plans, what you're feeling. Don't worry about grammar, just let the words flow. Step 2, record yourself once a week. Not to judge yourself harshly, but to notice one thing you improved from the previous week. Step 3, practice permission to be imperfect conversations with safe people, friends, family, or even your pet.
Wait, my pet? I talk to my cat all the time, but I do it in my native language. You mean I should start speaking to her in English?
Derek, your cat is the perfect English conversation partner. She won't judge your grammar, won't correct your pronunciation, and certainly won't make you feel embarrassed. Pets give you all the emotional benefits of conversation: eye contact, responsive listening, without any social pressure.
That's actually brilliant. Luna probably won't care if I mess up my verb tenses when I'm explaining why she needs to stop knocking plants off the windowsill. But Elena, what about real-world situations? Like, I still have that work meeting coming up next week, and just thinking about it makes my stomach turn.
Derek, work meetings are where this method shines. Let me teach you preparation without perfectionism. Don't script exactly what you want to say. That's a perfectionism trap. Instead, think of 3 key ideas you want to communicate. Then practice expressing those ideas different ways. If you want to say a timeline is too tight, practice, "I think we need more time. This timeline feels rushed. Can we discuss extending the deadline?" Same message, different expressions.
That makes sense, having multiple ways to express the same idea instead of one perfect sentence. But what if I'm in the middle of the meeting and I still freeze up? Like, what if someone asks me a direct question and my mind just goes blank again?
Derek, here are 3 magic phrases that'll save you every time. First, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." That gives you time to think. Second, "I want to make sure I understand. Are you asking about?" Then repeat their question. Third, "Here's my initial thought." See? You're giving yourself permission to be imperfect right from the start.
These are like life preservers. I can totally remember these. That's a great question. Let me think about that. Yeah, that sounds professional and gives me time to breathe. Elena, this is so practical.
Now, I want to take our listeners through a practical exercise right now. Everyone listening, I want you to participate along with Derek. We're going to practice the graduated exposure method. This means starting with low-pressure situations and gradually building up to higher-pressure ones. Derek, are you ready to try something that might feel uncomfortable but completely safe?
Okay, I'm nervous, but yes, I'm ready. What do you want me to do?
Hi, they're opening at 7 today. I wanted to come for dinner.
Okay. Um, Hello, I want to know what time you are open today. I am planning to coming for dinner later.
We're open from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. today. Thank you for calling. Derek, stop right there. What just happened? You made a mistake, planning to coming instead of planning to come. And did the conversation end? Did the world collapse? Did anyone get hurt?
No, nothing bad happened at all. You understood me perfectly and gave me the information I needed. The mistake was completely irrelevant to the communication. Wow, I never realized that before.
Exactly. Derek, this is the perfection illusion. Your brain tricks you into believing mistakes matter more than they do. When you're watching a movie, do you stop enjoying it because the actor stumbled over one word? Of course not. You're focused on the story, the message. It's the same with conversation. People listen to your ideas, not grading your grammar.
That's such a helpful way to think about it. People are listening for the message, not hunting for mistakes. Okay, what's the next exercise?
Let's make it more challenging. This time, you're in that work meeting you mentioned. Your boss has just presented a new project plan, and she asks the team, "Does anyone have questions or concerns?" You have a legitimate concern about the timeline, but you're nervous about speaking up. Remember our emergency phrases? Use one, share your concern, and don't worry about being perfect. Ready?
You know what? I actually think we might need more time on this. The research phase feels pretty tight, and I'm worried we'll rush through it and miss important stuff.
That's a great point, Derek. Can you tell us more about which parts you think need extra time? Derek, stop. Did you hear that? You just spoke naturally, shared a real concern, and contributed valuable input. How do you feel?
I feel, wow, I actually feel good, like I said something useful. And you're right, I wasn't thinking about grammar at all. I was just talking.
This is exactly the transformation I want every listener to experience. Right now, I want everyone who's listening to pause this episode and try Derek's exercise. Pick any workplace situation, a team meeting, a presentation, asking your boss for clarification on a project. Practice using one of our emergency phrases and communicating your idea. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on your message. Try it right now, out loud. We'll wait.
Elena, I have to say, this conversation has completely changed my perspective. I came into this thinking I needed to fix my English, but what I really needed to fix was my relationship with imperfection. But I still want to make sure I have a solid plan. Can you give me and all our listeners a practical action plan for the next 30 days?
Absolutely. Here's your confidence revolution. 30 days to transform your speaking. Week 1, master the basics. Mirror time every morning. Chat with your pets in English. Practice making deliberate mistakes 3 times. Week 2, get out there. Use those emergency phrases with strangers. Make small talk. Ask for directions. Week 3, workplace time. Use that preparation without perfectionism before meetings. Share one opinion every meeting, even if it's not perfect. Week 4, own your new identity. Record yourself talking about something you love for 5 minutes, then take on one conversation that used to terrify you. By day 30, you won't recognize yourself.
This is incredible, Elena. You know what? I'm making a commitment right here, right now. Tomorrow morning, mirror time. Tomorrow afternoon, that coffee shop. Next week, I'm speaking up in my meeting about the timeline. For the first time in years, I'm not scared of mistakes. I'm excited about progress.
Derek, I am so proud of you. And to everyone listening, understand what happened here today. Derek didn't learn new English. He already knew English. What he learned was courage. He discovered that his voice matters more than his grammar, that his message matters more than his mistakes. This isn't just about English. This is about finding your voice in life and refusing to let fear silence you ever again.
Elena, thank you. Seriously. You helped me realize I'm not broken. I'm just scared. And that's okay, but staying silent isn't. To everyone listening who feels like I did at the start, you're not alone. Your English is better than you think.
Here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your biggest English speaking fear? Or even better, make a commitment like Derek did. What's one thing you'll try this week? Maybe it's the mirror exercise. Maybe it's ordering coffee. Maybe it's speaking up in that meeting. Share it below. This community has your back. And if this helped you, hit that like button so more people can find their voice too. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You just need courage. So speak anyway. Until next time, keep speaking anyway.